What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. Specifically though, what we do need to look at is a few interesting formations that are starting to take place on most of the major cryptocurrencies. If you guys watched yesterday's video, which not a lot of you guys did, which I understand because the video came out late, so is this one, but back till tomorrow. Tomorrow videos will come out at normal time here. You can see we discovered on XRP a very interesting symmetrical triangle forming on the 4-hour charts here. You can see the higher low, lower high pattern forming off a run to the upside here. This is typically a bullish bias, although we're starting to see us kind of fill in the gap here and gets kind of squashed and smushed between this downtrend here, which is a very, very strong, over a year-long downtrend here. So we might not be able to break through that, but we'll go more in depth about that a little bit later on in today's video. Ethereum as well has pretty much been flatlined out for a very long time here. Bitcoin as well has also flatlined out for a very long time. You can see we are literally flat. Like, I've never seen, it's been a very long time since I've seen most of these major cryptocurrencies just go stagnant and trade sideways and see very little movement here. So this is interesting. This usually, represents the possibilities of a big break to the upside or a big slump to the downside here, which is kind of exciting. It'll be finally some sort of movement volatility because it's been, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, almost 2 weeks now of just sideways flatline trading with the price of, Bitcoin never dips below 16.8 or above 17.2, so about a $400 to $500 deviation that we kind of just move like this in between. So it's interesting, but I think it all is going to react very positively with the S&P 500. This is going to be really what steers the market in either direction. And honestly, unfortunately, I'm not trying to spread FUD, but I do believe that we are going to see the S&P break to the downside here. I do believe after the setting fractal, everything is leaning towards a possible correction, and I think that's what's going to happen, and I think it's going to pull the rest of the cryptocurrency market down with it. But with that being said, guys, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's dive into today's episode. Super quick, guys, moving forward, I did drop a video on my new channel. Hopefully you guys watched it. If you didn't, the video is really starting to explode here at 2.1k views. This is probably the first video I've posted that has gotten 2.1k views within literally 2 days. It's been a constant run to the upside here, and this might be the video, fingers crossed, that gets me monetized on my second channel. I'm very excited. I am only 49 subscribers away from 1,000 subs, and then I need probably like another 2,500 watch hours, which is taking forever, but I can update you guys in another video on how that process works here. So very exciting. I think it'll be a very cool video, and I'll make a video on it too. Like, I started a second channel to show how easy it was or whatever it is, but I do have another video coming too, how I can find like endless energy for utility bills and stuff, which I think you guys might be interested in. That'll be next week's project, but this is definitely a cool video. Highly recommend you guys watch it. Somehow the creator, this YouTuber, Matt Armstrong, that, I like fangirl over because I really love his videos, he actually managed to comment on this. So he watched this, which is just extremely exciting. You can see it right here. He watched the video, so this is incredible. That gives me definitely some more reason and motive to keep making videos. But moving forward here, diving into the technical analysis, you can see top 10 cryptos market yet again is consolidating, trading sideways as expected, anticipated, flatlined out yet again. It's just so boring, I understand, but you can see we did have a small hiccup, but we're back on track to just flatline trading here. Pretty much every single cryptocurrency that isn't, stablecoin has pretty much been flatlined out. Volume is dying completely. Everything is dying off, and this is going to cause, some sort of run to happen fairly soon here. Now, I just want to pull up the daily chart on XRP, continue where I left off. You can see here on the relative strength indicator, we are trading sideways, flatlined out, no movement. 50 on the RSI as expected here, which is annoying, but it does happen here. There may or may not be an uptrend that we could probably draw. I don't know how accurate this is. That's why I'm not using it currently, but we are trending sideways and we are flatlined out. But the problem is we are getting, in touch with this resistance here, and that's what we really have to focus on. But as you guys can see, we are in a downtrend on the volume too. If we really wanted to draw it, can this place? Okay, here we go. Finally, you can see that we are in a downtrend here where volume has just trickled off and has slowly died down. And when that happens, the RSI usually goes sideways too. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now. But I think the big problem with XRP and why everything, even the major cryptos, are leaning more towards a bearish drop here. Not that we're in a bear market. I think we're pretty exhausted, but I do believe we're going to see a bearish drop because, or maybe we are in a bear market still. Maybe we're at the end of it. But the reason I believe we're going to see a drop here is because we're getting very close to retesting this moving average. And typically we break bearish. We're trading at 50 on the RSI, but you can see when I scale back, for those new to the channel here, XRP is not doing too good. I think at some point, once we break through it, probably at 30 cents here, we're going to reject off this. Now is where my head's at. We're going to bounce off 30, and then hopefully we're going to see the run to the upside. I think that's what's going to happen. Similarly to what happened in the past year into 2020, but from 2017, 2018, we had the downtrend. We had the small movement of consolidation that we broke. We could see the same thing happening on this descending triangle where we kind of go stagnant like this and then break bullish into 2024, 2025. This is what I think. So this is kind of the downtrend. This is kind of the uncertainty period, and this is the bull market. So that's where I think this market's headed right now. But I think right now, with volume completely dead, that we are going to reject off this here and fall lower down to 30 cents before we see any sort of movements here. I think another retest of 30 cents is kind of due. You can see consistently the retests of resistance that have done nothing but break us bearish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is now the 6th one, and I think that's going to send us lower, unfortunately here. But, I mean, we just screamed bearish. So if you guys have other opinions or agree with me, let me know down in the comments. But truly, I do believe XRP is going to be falling lower very soon within most of these cryptos. Now, or because of these other cryptos. Now, that's XRP. Ethereum, you can see, is flatlined out here on 50 on the RSI. Once again, typically, the longer we trade sideways, the more prone we are to dropping lower. Volume is slowly dying off here, and because we're trading at 50 on the RSI, I'm a strong believer that this sideways stagnation is just more uncertainty, and this is going to cause a drop. And when we do drop, I don't know, my nose is so itchy. When we do drop, we are going to probably fall down to $1,000 first. Unfortunately, I am biased, probably 80% bearish right now within these cryptos, and I am biased just because, I have some skin in the game right now on trades, but I think we are going to short, and I think we're going to have to switch some of these trades that we have opened right now that we, didn't just get timed out of on BitYard. We're going to have to switch them over to a short position here, but once we start going, we'll know. You can see Bitcoin too also being stagnant, trading sideways, 50 on the RSI, very little movement here. Another reason to say, okay, this isn't going to last long, and this is going to cause a drop to the downside, which is pretty much where my head's at with pretty much all these cryptocurrencies. I really do think that we're just trading sideways until we see some sort of trigger that will come, and I think that trigger will be the S&P 500. I think this beautiful ascending fractal here that I talk about in all my videos, and I know I have to repeat myself here, but for those that are new that haven't heard me, this is for you guys. We are in a bearish signal on the S&P. There's like 8 reasons why it screams bearish. We're in a descending fractal here. You can clearly see the retests. You can see we're back to retesting the top of the purple. And typically, after we retest the top, we cause a correction here. And now when you throw in the fact that we're also, so that's one, then you have the uptrend here. And the fact that we confirmed closing below the uptrend is also a reason to correct. And you can see we just confirmed closing below that. So that's 2 confirmations. We were nearing overbought, which is also a 3rd confirmation. We then have usually within these drops here, the form ascending fractals, typically these have a bearish bias as well. So the fact that this is now at the peak of its ascending triangle, these have a bearish bias here to break lower. That's a 4th reason. Then when we extend our views a little bit more to the weekly charts here, you could see we're retesting the top of an 11-year, ascending triangle here. You can see this ascending fractal, that's what I meant to say, ascending fractal, has been continuous since 2011. It goes on even earlier. You can see it here all the way since 09, and this is where it starts at around 11 with the top resistance, but you can clearly see where we tend to retest this top here and correct lower. Every time we retest the white band, we correct lower. Here, drop, here, drop, here, drop. Consistently, this was all mega inflation, total manipulation by the government's act, and now we're starting to, drop from there. But you can also see we're now retesting the top of it again, which is a 5th reason why I believe we're bearish. Then a 6th reason is we're retesting the moving averages here. You can see after many, many, many years, we have finally squashed this moving average. You can see the weekly moving average, the green band, the purple band are very close. Not only are we retesting that, which is like a sixth reason, but there's also a very big possibility that this is going to cause a bearish cross, which is also a seventh reason, and cause a correction. And if we do see that, I can easily expect to see a drop down to 35. I can easily see a drop down to 32 being the lowest point, which would suck. Don't get me wrong. Typically, when we have these mega drops, there's usually a reason behind it. This was like the Trump-China trade war in 2018. This is the pandemic here. And you can go back further and figure it out. I don't know all of the dates and all the reasons why. This was the housing crisis right here that caused the crash here. And obviously, we recover out of all these drops here, but it's just something to pay attention to. And the fact is, now that we're retesting the next one, right, this drop, let me just pull it up super quick for you guys. The fact is, this is, the inflation that we're trying to lower, but we have to see how low the government wants to lower us. Is it going to create a soft landing, being that we're at the top? Because we could very easily just trend sideways like this. There's a good chance I think, when do we find out the CPI December, or when do we find out November CPI data? I believe we get that either... I don't know when we get it. We get it pretty soon. Key inflation measures cooled off 2 days ago. Did it already come out? The consumer price in November is scheduled to be released. This should tell us. Let's see. Scheduled to be released December 13th. That's what I thought. Normally it's the 13th. So I believe this is on Tuesday. Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. We're going to get November inflation, which is very recent, and it is going to see whether or not the S&P is going to be tanking. If we come out higher or we come out stagnant, we are going to be tanking. Now they're starting to speculate, so we'll see what happens here, but I do think it's going to cause a correction to the upside or to the downside here. Regardless, even if it's a positive, maybe we'll start to break out of this downtrend here and we'll start to just trend in here, which would be perfect. Truly, that's what I want. I hope that we don't get a drop like this. I hope that we don't get a drop like this. Truthfully, I hope that we just kind of trade sideways for a little bit, because guess what? If we do that, it is lowering ourselves for the potential. If we trade sideways like this, now the top is much higher. And we're here versus where we are at the top right now. So it does give us some space. But I don't know how they're going to do this. I really don't know. Hopefully we don't do this. That's what I'm worried about. But we'll see. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's been a long time coming since that did. So I think if inflation is a positive, maybe it will just go like this. And when that happens, we'll be breaking outside this downtrend here. And this will become negligent. We won't need to use that. And then we'll start to kind of form a new pattern here. But that's pretty much it, though. Tuesday will definitely reveal some very interesting things. That is going to wrap up today's video. Definitely make sure to check out Bityard if you haven't already. The #1 cryptocurrency exchange that I like to use here on the channel, that you can buy long, sell short, leverage trade, stop losses, take profits. They even have XRP, which not many exchanges offer. They have a demo account for you to test your skills completely free. And then if you sign up with the link down in the description, click mystery box, you can earn free crypto, which is also awesome. With that being said, smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.